Okay, welcome, Matthew.
Hey, thanks for
Um,
inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. A couple days ago, I saw Matthew on LinkedIn. I saw we have a couple of friends in common. Saw he served a mission in Argentina. That's where I'm from, and he's working in accounting currently. So I invited him to interview and just learn about his life.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just an accountant here at EY in the Denver office. I'm a senior here at EY in the Denver office in audit. So just
Wow,
enjoying it,
how
having
does it feel to
having a
work
good
for a
time.
Big Four?
It's it's definitely challenging at times. Like it's a lot of hours for sure. You work a lot. You're working sometimes around the clock, but like they say it's good for your career, and I mean I would agree. It definitely is like a lot of work at first, but then you know, I guess when you're young is when you should be working, and then once you get older, it's less work. So I'm
That's
keeping my
exactly
fingers
how.
crossed that in a couple
That's
of years it'll
exactly how I
be
feel.
a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, like how old are you? You look pretty young.
I'm 27 almost, so turn 27
27. So
this
yeah,
year.
we're just like 2 years apart. I have some mentality. I've heard that working for a Big Four takes a lot of time from your life, but I mean, you gotta do it while you're young, right?
Exactly. I think it's a good learning experience for sure. It's like a sink or swim kind of moment. It's like the refiner's fire is like it's like a saying they use. It's like it just strengthens your skills all around because you do so much more work, like that you end up exposed way more to way more things. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's not for everybody too. It's definitely you have to like go into it knowing you're gonna work a lot of hours because if you think you're just gonna work like 40 hours every week, you're probably
That's
gonna be pretty disappointed come January.
so I was looking into that to work for a Big Four company, but more in the consulting area. Working for audit, how do you think that's like different?
Um, yeah, so audit is like typically the basic. So like most of the time in Big Four, you have to go to audit first and then go to consulting afterwards
Mhm.
because consulting is like they don't have staff in consulting. So your first 2 years of your career, you're like a staff one and a staff two. And those 2 years are typically an audit because like you get to know businesses more. You see like a full scope of everything that's happening and going on. And if you're on a public company, you can see, all the different things that are happening, whether it's filing or the different areas you're testing. Um, so typically, if you're going to be in tax, you go on tax, or if you're going to be in audit or consulting, you go into audit first and then consulting. At least that's how it is here at EY. But I'm not sure if any of the other Big Four have staff consulting positions or not, or if they just hire straight like seniors for consulting. But consulting is pretty interesting too, depending on what you can do. I mean, you can do anything between mergers, acquisitions. I actually interviewed last week for a consulting rotation, and it was in this transaction diligence department, which is like valuing mergers and acquisitions and removing uncommon stuff from like balance sheets and stuff when you're like valuing. So it's definitely more complicated. I think audit is like check the box kind of thing, like, okay, they say this much money is in their cash. How much money is actually in their cash? Let's go ahead and send some, confirms out and, try to figure it out. So I think that definitely is the difference. I guess audit's more of like a basic, like learn the understanding and then like do what you need to do to be able to sign the 10K and have, reasonable assurance that there's no fraud because you can't test everything. So it's more like just is the company doing what they're supposed to do? And while consulting is typically, yeah, it's you have like more of an intent. Like a client will say, hey, we want you to do this, or we need this valued, or XYZ. So
Wow, so
yeah,
you
I think
feel
that's the
like
difference between those.
you have like less of a stress maybe than making sure that everything's on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely have to think a lot more in consulting, I think, because you have to actually like analyze and like develop solutions. And in audit, it's more documentation based, more a lot of people based too, because you have to be able to talk to people, be able to get support, for all these things. You have to be able to talk to the client and understand. There can be pretty abstract problems and things that happen in audit that are uncommon, especially if you're on a big client. So not to say audit is only checking the boxes, but it definitely is more of a organizational and carry out kind of thing than consulting, I think. And consulting is definitely a little bit higher paid because it's a little bit more like analytical, and you have to like actually you actually have to think when you're working. You can't just show up to work. Like audit, you could probably show up and you'll be good. If you're there, if you're doing the work, you're gonna do fine. You're gonna get promoted, fine. But consulting, it's actually gonna be like you actually have to be good at what you do more than anything and do it well. So hence a little bit of the pay bump. I think it's like in some of the senior positions, it's about $10,000 difference between audit seniors and consulting seniors. So
Wow. Did you see yourself doing this when you were 17 years old?
uh, I kind of wanted to go into, well, when I was 17, I was thinking about going into like some sort of government agency or something like that. And then I decided pretty quick I didn't want to do that. And then I thought about doing like pre-law and criminal justice. And so I was going to do that. And then I went on my mission and came back. And that's when I decided I wanted to do more of like numbers kind of game, and a big thing for me is like having the security, the job security. I don't want to have a job that's going to be unstable, or if the economy has a downturn, is it going to be eliminated? I don't want to be worried about, am I going to, be able to put food on the table or things like that. So I wanted a more stable route. And accounting is definitely, I think, like the most job secure, stable route out of like all the business majors. If you think about it, what like finance is either like big, like boom or bust. Like you're either making a lot of money or you're making no money because there's not a lot of jobs. And marketing dries up, and it's just very cyclical. So every time there's like a downturn in the economy, marketing jobs dissolve a little bit. So I think that's what kind of pushed me towards accounting more than finance. Yeah, so I decided to major in accounting, and for that reason, just the job security. And it's not like it's like I'm the most passionate person about accounting, or like I care so much about accounting issues, because it's like nobody is really that passionate about accounting, and if you are,
Yeah.
like it's not something you have to be in a successful career in accounting. I think most people just like want people that they can talk to, can see themselves working with, have a good time with, because you're really spending a lot of time with your coworkers. So you want them to be people that you can like get along with, that you can definitely vibe off of, and just have good conversations, because you're around them a lot just because of the hours.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time with them, so you've got to get along.
Exactly. You don't have another choice.
And do you currently work with any people that you study with? Where did you study?
So I studied at Colorado State University. So I got a bachelor in accounting there, and then I got a bachelor in Spanish and language literatures in Spanish there. So I have two bachelors. Mostly it was just to get to my 150 credits so I could take the CPA exam, because in accounting, the CPA exam is like, especially public accounting, it's like a must-have. And I knew I didn't really want to go to graduate school yet, especially not just to be able to take the CPA exam. I didn't want to do another year just to
A lot of stress.
Yeah, exactly. And I figured it would be cheaper if I can just get it done in undergrad. So I just doubled up, and it took me one extra semester, but because I did that, I got like 155 credits. So I was able to test. Have been
That's
able to test,
awesome.
almost done testing.
So you have pretty good Spanish, I bet.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I don't use it as much as I did back in in Argentina. So, but I try to. There's a good amount of Mexicanos like you, so I'm always trying to talk to them. Always going to all the
Practice
food
a
trucks.
little.
Yeah, practice a little. they're always like looking at me weird. They're like, oh, dude, who's this dude speaking? It's kind of funny, but actually, my Spanish did help me though. When I started with UI, I got to do an internship, and because I spoke Spanish, they sent me on a global internship. So I was able to go down to Santiago, Chile, and there I did. I was on this team called it was an advisory team, so kind of a consulting, but it was in. So like in consulting, there's like two sides. So there's like the in-house consulting, which is like financial accounting IT teams that help audit clients, FAS teams, which is advisory, financial accounting advisory services teams that also help clients. And then there's like outside consulting where you like consult clients on business matters. And like, I'm not 100% sure what the rules are, but I think it has to do with the independence, like because you can't advise clients on business matters if you're auditing them. So it's just there's in-house consulting, which is that, and there's out-of-house consulting, which is more of like mergers, acquisitions, financial planning and analysis, forecasts. And so because I spoke Spanish, they sent me to Santiago, Chile, and I was able to work there in the financial accounting advisory services, which is like a lot of words to just say I was testing internal controls for this publicly traded company. So, but it was pretty cool. So they paid for all my expenses, and they sent me there for 6 weeks, I think. And this is the summer of 2019. And yeah, had a good time. Got paid still, so you get paid the same whether you're here or there. And it's like good exposure, I think, to definitely like broaden the horizons. Like if you're doing auditing here in the United States, maybe it's harder to use your Spanish or like practice it or anything. But if you go out of the country, there's definitely uses for it. And if you're at a big firm like a Big Four, they typically have out of the country clients who are international. So because they have all, I'm pretty sure they have all Fortune 100 companies except one, because in the Grant Thornton has one Fortune 100. So when you think about the top 100 companies are all divvied up between the Big Four. So if you want to work on the top 100 companies on their audits, you know, it's a must.
It's a must. Did you have like any issues like translating? For me, at least when I started studying here accounting, just learning accounting was like learning a different language, you know, like the language of business, but the whole vocabulary was new to me. And I don't even know how to say those things in Spanish. Did you like have to take classes or translate it there?
Yeah, so in my undergrad, I took a couple business classes that were in Spanish. So I knew a lot of the terminology. And then I also worked as like a bank teller for a while. So I knew, and I was like a bilingual bank teller, so I could like, I don't know, translate for people, like how people do all their like transfers and stuff. So I knew some of the terminology, but yeah, definitely some of it I had to like have Google Translate ready. And I was not used to the dialect in Chile either. So they speak like super fast, like almost too fast. It's almost like they're vomiting words out, and it's just like almost too fast. But after like a week, you pick up on it, and then you feel a little bit more comfortable.
I think one of the most confusing things that they say is that they want to cancel a purchase, meaning that they want to proceed with a purchase.
Yeah.
Pay for it. No, I want to buy it. I don't want to cancel it.
Yeah.
I bet it was like really confusing.
Yeah. It was I had some pretty good seniors luckily who helped me out a lot. They were actually kind of interesting. The team I worked on there, it was like 30 people, and only 5 or 6 of them were Chilean, and everybody else was from Venezuela mostly. So I think there was a couple from Brazil, but mostly from Venezuela. And because everybody's leaving Venezuela, the Big Four in the accounting, like they're like, hey, I don't want to make $100 a month, so I'm out of here, kind of deal. And so, and they were super helpful, super nice people, very hardworking, you know. So I had a good couple of seniors that really helped me out. I feel helped my career growth out. It is a little longer, the progression there in South America and other parts of the world. like to become a manager, it takes a lot more time than like, for instance, Big Four here in America, you'll probably be a manager in 6 years if you,
Wow.
yeah, do enough. So if you want that, like I said, it's a lot of work.
It's more responsibility, probably lots of more stress, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you get well paid too.
Yeah, yep. I think, yeah, yes to all of the above. Lots more stress, but high
Hmm.
risk, high reward.
Yeah, that's true. So, how did you end up getting that internship? Did you go like through your school, career services, and then EY?
Yep. So I did this program called the summer. It's called an SLP program. So it's like your sophomore year of college. You should go and apply for all. They're called SLPs. They're like 2-day programs that all the big four offer. So KPMG, EY, and all of them offer. And so I applied for all of them, but I went to PwC's SLP program and then I went to EY's SLP program. And then if they like you at the SL, it's like a 2-day thing. So it's like no big deal. 2 days, you like learn some stuff about them. You get to talk to partners and like understand some more about the business maybe. And if you like the culture more than anything. And then like if they like you, they'll offer you an internship. So I got an internship offer from EY and PwC, and they're about the same amount of money and everything for the summer after that. But then EY said, if you accept the internship, you can then apply for our global internship. But
Mhm.
PwC didn't have one. So I decided,
Oh,
I might as well go to EY and then I'll take a swing at the global internship. And so I applied to EY and yeah, somehow got the global internship and yet they shipped me off, me and 5 other people to Chile. But yeah, so it was pretty good.
did you
And
get to
then
choose where to go?
no, so their program was it's called like the Global Student Experience. So it's a GSE program, and you get to
Mm.
like rank your top 3. So I put Argentina first, Chile second, and then I want to say I put Peru third, Peru or Mexico or something like that. But then they only sent 2 people to Chile, Argentina, and obviously it was me. And then they sent 5 of us to Chile, so I was one of the ones who got sent to Chile. So I was still happy with that. I didn't care at all. I was like, okay, I've never been to
I'll
Chile.
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped me. I think one of the big thing too is if you have a Beta Alpha Psi club at BYU, we had one at CSU.
Mhm.
Because I remember being like a sophomore and like being like, how am I going to get into my foot in the door with these firms, like, and talking to my dad about it. My dad was like, well, you should join a club, join the accounting club. So most of the time, the accounting club is going to be called Beta Alpha Psi. It's like a fraternity, but it's not a fraternity. It's like a professional organization is what they're called, but they use the
Yeah.
Greek letters as well. Um, so BAP we called it, and once a week we had meetings, and they would bring another firm in every week. So it started out, they bring one firm in, and then they bring EY in, and then the recruiter from Grant Thornton would come in, and then they brought in some local firms here in Colorado, like Plant Moran, and I'm trying to think of who else, but all 4 of the big 4 attended on different weeks and everything. But and the recruiters are pretty highly motivated to get people. They want
Yes.
people to be applying for them. So all you have to do really is go up to them, talk to them, introduce yourself, give them a little spiel about yourself, and then get their contact information. Then the next day, email them within 24 hours and say, hey, it was so nice meeting you. Maybe we can go out sometime for, uh, just to go talk about the firm or whatever, about the culture, and then typically they'll say, yeah, I can connect you with people on the team, and they can do it too. And then you can meet a couple more people. And yeah, I would say just like networking like that, just, word of mouth spreads pretty quick. And if you're pretty persistent, right, and you just keep bugging people, they'll,
That's really awesome because every time I think about networking, I'm like, I don't want to bother someone about like what they're doing with their job, but like if you make it that simple, I think that's okay to bother someone.
Yeah, and like they want people to like Big Four always, or any good accounting firm pretty much always needs CPAs, people who are graduating with the ability to get CPA and audit in public sector, because lately we've been seeing a huge like downturn in the number of people who want to do that, just
Yeah.
because I think it's probably because of the pandemic, not as many people are graduating, and also people are like realizing that they like don't want to work that many hours anymore. Like nobody wants to work 80 to 60 to 80 hours for a third of the year, and that's kind of what the job is. And it's like super chill most of the year, but from January to like March, it can be like pretty busy. So
Just like for
yeah.
tax season or?
So that's for like filing season. So every company lets out their 10K, which is their yearly financials, sometime in Q1. So like for instance, the client I'm on, they're a Fortune 500 public client right now, and they file their 10K results on the 18th of February. So we'll have to get everything pretty much done from the beginning of the year when we get the information and the numbers to the 18th when they file, because we have to
It's
say
like a
before.
countdown.
Yeah, exactly. You have to say beforehand, like, are they good, or like, does any of the numbers need to be changed? Because then they do their earnings report and their yearly earnings, and then they publish all of those numbers to investors. And the whole point is that investors have faith in the numbers and can trust that they're good numbers. And so if we don't do our part, our due diligence, then and get it done, then we would essentially have to either postpone the 10K or or I don't know what we would do at that point. But so it's important that we finish in time, So I work 6 days a week from January to March. So from Monday to Saturday, and I'll probably get around 70, 75 hours in the week. So it's like working 9 to 11 at night every night on the weekdays, and then maybe 10 in the morning on Saturday to 3 or 4, and then you can take the rest of Saturday and Sunday off. And Friday.
At least you have Sunday off.
Yeah, right. They can't make you work on Sunday, right? Yeah. So like I said, that's why there's always a need for people in that kind of sphere of working, just because it is a lot of work. Not everybody.
You get to
wants.
work from home?
So I'm at home right now working from home. But I go into work right now 2 days a week, so like a hybrid. So Mondays and Wednesdays. Today I didn't go in, but most Mondays and Wednesdays I go into the client's office. So I go to their headquarters, and we have a bunch of desks at their headquarters. We just started doing that after Thanksgiving, so it's not too long. It would be better. Right now it's kind of weird because there's not too many of the client people there, like accountants or anything. So it's just kind of like us hanging out at their building. Because like normally it's cool because you can like, oh, I need to ask somebody for something. Oh, the desk is right over there. I can just walk over there and ask them, Because the way it used to be is everybody's in the same building. You just walk over there and go ask them for some information. Now you just have to send emails, really, because nobody's in the building every day or schedules or whatever. But
just wait till they answer.
Yeah, exactly. And things are progressing, so that's good. Because 2 years ago, if you would have said, can we do an audit fully remote? I guarantee everybody would have said, no way we can do this fully remote. We need everybody here all the time. And then we had to go fully remote, and it went actually surprisingly smooth. So like we learned that like, oh, if you're not commuting to the office, that time that you could be commuting, you can work. And then because you're working, you can get more stuff done. So I think it's like a little bit more productive, but to each their own. I know a lot of people who like don't want to go in at all, and a lot of people who don't want to be at home. at all. So it just depends.
So you see it more like as a COVID response, or do you think because of technology is growing, this could potentially be a remote job?
Yeah, so PwC just went all positions fully remote, wherever you want to be in the United States. So sorry, the dogs are barking. So in that sense, I think like they could be pretty much all remote. And but in another sense, like it was a COVID response at first, but it doesn't need to be just a COVID response because like the work way, the like way we work and the work world changes constantly. And like
Mhm.
the fact that we showed that we could do everything we needed to do these last 2 years remote proves that like we don't need to be in the office every day. So I think definitely a hybrid approach is going to be moving forward, like maybe 1 or 2 days a week in person. And then if you get your work done at home, all good. Because it is convenient to be able to wake up, roll out of bed, toss on a beanie and just go straight to work.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream job to me. Stay in accounting, chill at home,
Mhm.
really good. And you said that you didn't get your graduates yet. Do you think that you want to do that in the near future? Do you think that you will pay for it?
For what? Can you repeat the question?
You said you want to get your master's
Oh, my master's. Yeah, so EY
or
actually
not?
offers like a free master's program.
No way.
So I'm looking into doing that. It's like a master's in data analytics and something like that. And it's all online. So I'm looking into that right now. Like my main thing right now is just to finish my last exam for CPA. And then once I finish and pass that one, then I can start looking forward onto what I do next if I get an MBA or if I go another route, get some more certifications, move towards
Yes.
systems auditing or something like that. Um, yeah, so right now my main professional goal is the CPA.
Yeah, makes sense. BYU offered us to do the last year combined and do like the last year and an extra year to do the master's.
Yep.
I know that makes sense, but like,
It's like an accelerated program. Yeah, I think I had a friend who did that and he got out with his master's. It's cool.
is that
And
even worth
we have the
it?
same amount of credit. Well, you have the same amount of credits. So it doesn't, I mean, if you're going to spend 4 years, you might as well get a master's. But like at the same time, a Mac gives you nothing that a CPA won't give you. Like most of the time, a Mac program is just needed just to get to the credit limit to be able to test for CPA.
Oh,
Although a
okay.
Mac might prepare you better for the CPA. It might, because
Hmm.
of the classes, you might test a little bit better. So it just depends, I think.
I think I have enough. I will have enough credits if I had a minor. I want to do a minor in Arabic, which I don't know if it's gonna help me or not, but I really like it. I heard that a lot of companies hire people that have like a second or third language, so it might be
No,
helpful
I
maybe.
mean, that's a pretty big language. I'm sure would help. Yeah, I I, I definitely couldn't learn Arabic. I don't think it would be that beneficial if you're working here in the
We'll
United
see.
States. But anything else, I think that I think in the United States, the most beneficial are probably Spanish, English. I don't
Yeah,
know, maybe Chinese.
maybe Chinese. Yeah,
Starting to get more
business
beneficial.
related.
Yeah, just
Yeah, at
because.
one point I wanted to move towards like that way, that part of the world. But
Uh-huh,
it's just like one dream of mine.
exactly. Chinese. Yeah, it'd be nice to learn. I've heard it's really hard too. I do want to learn another third language, but first I want to get my CPA done and
Yeah,
certify
I
this
think that's
next
more important.
one. And then I can start focusing on my hobbies more than my work and studying.
And tell us a little bit more about your personal life, if we can ask.
Yeah,
How do you balance your personal life with your career or even like now your job?
yeah, I think like especially in this line of work, it's harder to have that work-life balance and be able to take time out for yourself during the day and not be always online, because one of the big things that happens with accounting is that, especially this work from home, is that you're always available, so people can always get a hold of you. So
Yeah.
because you're at home, your computer's there. People don't have a problem messaging you at 9, 10 at night because oh, it's just there. So I think a big part of work-life balance is like just knowing when to close the computer. Just close the computer. Don't put any of your stuff on your phone, and then the next day you can do everything as it comes in. You can get on earlier and do some stuff, because it's important to like have those times where you can just cut off work. You shouldn't have to work all the time every day or be available all the time every day. It's unrealistic expectation that sometimes employers have. So I mean, the work-life balance is definitely a struggle, especially in busy season. But I think if you just try to make the most out of your off days, so like if you actually like try to, oh, I have Saturday night off, I'm gonna go hang out with these friends, or I'm gonna go wherever you're gonna go, just like do something on those days, because I think it helps you like recharge a little bit more, or like get ready for the work week a little bit more.
Mhm.
And a lot of times people can get pretty burnt out, so it always helps to like take some time off, come back when you're not burnt out, because you're not helping anybody. You're not helping the team or yourself if you're just really burnt out and not getting any work done.
Do you have kids?
I don't have any
No.
kids. Nope.
Would
I've
you like?
been blessed with no kids so far.
Do you think that it would be possible like to take care of kids and being like a maybe part-time accounting?
Oh, definitely. Actually, so the big four have really good benefits on this part of the spectrum too, because my friend just he works for Deloitte, just had his first baby, and so you actually get 4 months paid time off of leave
Wow.
at EY and Deloitte and KPMG and PwC. So no matter where you are, there's this woman on my team named Zaira is about to have her baby at the end of the year, and she just got off at the beginning of this month, and she won't be back until April. So they're saying like, and I think is a big thing. They're saying, hey, you're going to be a first-time parent or a second-time parent, or if you just had a baby, take 4 months off and develop with a child. And I think like that's big because like most jobs give you what, 6 weeks tops if you're the mom, and if you're the dad,
Yeah.
maybe 1 week if you're the dad. So the ability to get 4 months off is huge. I definitely want to be working in Big Four when I have my first child, because I definitely want 4 months off and just sitting around taking care of a kid. I mean, it can't
That's
be easy.
amazing. Yeah, I don't
Can't
think of any other job that would offer you that much.
Yeah, no. So it's a pretty good benefit. It's like, even though the work is hard, the benefits are very nice. Yeah. And just like having the ability to
Yeah.
transfer between service lines and, learn about consulting, tax, audit. That's my plug for the Big Four. I think everybody should do it.
That's awesome. I'm actually looking for an internship for next April. It might not be the best time to start an internship. Do you think that it would be best to start like in January to April? Would they really like looking for more interns or not?
So I think like there's like a winter, which is January to March, into March, and then there's summer interns who are like June to August. So I was a summer intern, but I knew people who did winter. Winter, you do a lot more work because it's actually busy season. So there's a lot of work to be done. Summer is a little bit more chill, and it gives you a little bit more idea about the client and what's going on. So I would say you're gonna have to have one of those two time frames. So either a January to April or a June to August.
September or August.
Yeah, I think it ends in August, like the second week or the first week. So if I don't know what BYU summer is again, but if you had like summer off, it would be a perfect time.
Yeah, I'll probably take a break and just do from April to September.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of like a big gap. But I didn't know if that will be better instead of just doing winter.
Yeah,
or starting in winter and slowly going in.
Yeah, exactly. Because it would be tough to go to school and try to do the work, and you want to leave a good impression.
Yeah. So probably summer would be the
Yeah, I think
best way to like start.
I think summer is the way to go, and there's more positions open. But
Oh.
yeah, the first the first thing that you would do is probably go to Beta Alpha Psi, go to the accounting club every week, and
Mhm.
then meet the recruiters for the Big Four. Or you could look up on LinkedIn who the recruiters for that area are for that college for BYU are. And depending on where you want to get an internship, because I know people get like there are people from my college who went to California, Seattle, wherever the New York to get internships and stuff. So it just depends on like where you want to live afterwards, because wherever you do your internship is where you'll work when you're full time. So if you want to be in Salt Lake, then I think there's Big Four offices there. Then it'll be Salt Lake internships.
I really like Salt Lake. And if like commuting, I don't think it would be an issue to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. So
Not at all.
yeah, so I think the first thing I would do then is just meet the recruiters there, and then introduce yourself. Maybe go sit down for lunch with them one day or something like that. Set up a quick meet and greet, and then when they're ask about their SLP programs. So if you're looking for an internship next year, are you looking for a 2022 internship or a 2023?
Yes. 2022.
Okay, so when do you graduate from BYU?
Who knows? This is my first semester, so probably like 2 to 3 years.
Okay, sweet. So, um, so typically you do your internship the year before you graduate. So
Mhm.
in the junior summer. So for you, I think it would be 2023 summer would typically be then, because then they expect you to start working like a year after you do your internship, like full time, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
if you do your internship good, they'll extend an offer right then, and then you'll have one more year, and then you'll start working full time, like after you graduate.
Oh.
So it kind of like it comes with like a job, like offered already, pretty much. Um, but EY does this internship that you should look into. It's called the launch internship. Um,
What?
launch, yeah,
Let me write
it
this
it's
down.
it's only for minorities. So no only for racial minorities, so no white people can apply or anything like that. And it's like actually like a 3-year internship. So every summer you do an internship. So you would do one if you got it, you would do one this year, one the next year, and then one the summer after that.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah. So and then you
So
get
3 years, and this is
yeah.
with EY, right?
Yep. It's called the launch internship. Yeah, and I think you get I haven't done it. I've just heard about it. So I think that you get the opportunity to do every single service line. So you'll do audit 1 year, the next summer you'll do tax, and then third summer you'll do consulting or something along those lines.
Wow.
But yeah, I would look. That's what I would look into if you're um, because you're so far out from graduating.
Mhm.
I don't know if the traditional internship would be the way to go right now. But if you wanted to look up those SLPs, the summer leadership programs, you could
Yes.
do those and then get an internship offer next summer from those. So you kind of like chain the SLP to the internship to the job, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because the offers just keep rolling if if you do, you pretty much always get an offer as long as you don't mess anything up too bad.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I could do like different internships till I graduate and then hopefully get a full-time job there
Mhm.
while I
Yeah,
study. That I
exactly.
think would be great.
Yeah, but I would look up those ones. I think the launch internship, and then I would look up SLPs because those could, if you don't get the launch internship or it's already closed, then those could help you get an internship in the future.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Matthew, for like all the information you gave me. Like
Yeah, no problem.
definitely have like a lot of things to research and to look for
Uh-huh.
with accounting. Um, hope we be in contact.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Well, let me know if you have any more
Thank you for your
questions.
time.
Yep. Thanks,
Okay.
Anna. All right. Bye.